Hey, what's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another movie review. This time an early movie review for the Hulu original, streaming this Friday, January 14, 2022, called Sex Appeal. Now, this film is written by Tate, who, funny enough, plays the main teacher in the film, Miss Russell, and this movie is directed by Talia, Osteen. And the quick synopsis for Sex Appeal is: Avery, a teenager with a tendency towards perfectionism, enlists her friend Larson to help her prepare for the first time with her long-distance boyfriend. All right, now a quick heads up before I start my review, just giving you guys a heads up, all of my reviews are completely spoiler-free unless otherwise noted at the beginning or in the title of my videos. So anything I do talk about or show on screen is going to be completely from the trailer alone. But before we get into my review, if you guys do like content like this, let me know by liking the video. It's the best way to support the channel, and it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification today to always get alerted about future videos like this. And if you guys want to shoot me a follow on social media, I'll post all of that information right here and in the description down below. All right, guys, let's begin my review for Sex Appeal. Or is it Sex Appeal? Kind of hard at this point, I'm really not sure. All right, so let's start off with some things that I did like for Sex Appeal. Once we're introduced to Avery, played by Mika Abdalla, she is someone that's introduced to us as this perfectionist, this scholar, this academaholic, I like to call it. I mean, the teachers all know her names. Her academic scholars are really following her around like minions. She is really painted in this light, at least in the intro of this film, that she is very, very focused on her studies, her academics, and her future for that matter. As there is this huge conference that's coming up that she is very, very invested in, and it's revealed that she has 33 days to create an app that solves a problem in her personal life. Now, I actually like that idea because, yeah, they could just throw a YA movie at me and see if it sticks, and honestly, I'm not the demographic for a film like this. I'll just get that out of the way. I'm a man in his mid-30s. My YA days are way behind me, but don't let that fool you because I do have some comments along the way here that definitely kept me invested in watching this film. Now, next up, she's also faced with another dilemma. Her equally as smart boyfriend, someone that's also once again invested in his future, and this conference that's coming up in about a month. It seems like they're long distance. They don't live in the same town or go to the same school. So the next time that they meet up will be at this conference. And he definitely lets it be known that he is DTF.
Avery, I'm DTF.
Oh shit.
And from experience, yes, I was a horny teenage boy myself, so I can definitely understand what he was going through in that moment. You can obviously tell they're on different wavelengths as he's moving a lot quicker than she is in this long distance relationship that they do have. Now, next up, I thought it was pretty cool that we're introduced to some parents that are different from our usual cookie cutter YA movies or just films in general. We actually get 3 moms in this film. Well, it's difficult. We get 2 moms, but there's a bonus mom that's introduced. Yep, they call it a bonus mom. And they're played by Feimster, Margaret and Rebecca Henderson. And I thought this casting choice was awesome. I will just say this. I have not seen Margaret Cho in such a long time. And when she was on screen, it was so natural with the comedy. Like, I felt like she really didn't miss a beat. And jumping to Fortune, I thought she did an equally awesome job. I've only seen her in a couple of movies. She kind of pops in here and there, and she's really, really funny. As well as Rebecca Henderson, who I haven't seen at all, so this is kind of my introduction to her. I thought she did well. You don't really get to see too much of her compared to Margaret Cho or Fortune's character, but she does have an emotional, awesome scene at the end of this film that definitely made it worth it. All right, so the objective, create a sex app. So what does that mean? Creating a sex app? Well, pretty much using algorithms to determine the best sexual outcome for each person. In theory, it seems like there could be something out there like that. But along the way, we realize that when 2 people come together and they are going to engage in sex, you know, there's more to it than an algorithm can provide. And Avery does learn that along the way. And I do like the life lessons. That's one thing. Even though we're focused only in a 33-day time period of this 18-year-old girl, I think she learns so much from this experience that will last her a lifetime. So next up, we're introduced to Avery's best friend, someone she grew up with pretty much her whole life, and that's Larson, played by Jack Short. Now, he was kind of quirky, you know, the best friend that definitely wants to be more friends. I mean, we've seen that character in every single John Hughes movie in the 80s, 90s, all of the cheesiness, we've seen it before. But towards the middle and the ending of this movie is when he started to grow on me, because I think he started to get a little more screen time. Yeah, this film is about Avery and him along the way sprinkled in there, but he starts to kind of have his pedestal moment where he definitely has some cool scenes without giving any spoilers, and I did like them along the way, and I thought he was a pretty good actor in this film. And jumping to another cameo, and probably the biggest cameo for this film, as I've seen on a lot of trailer websites that they are marketing this movie with her name attached, and I'll just give you guys a big heads up, she's not in this film too much, but it's Paris Jackson. Yes, the daughter of the infamous Michael Jackson. And she is playing Danica in this film, someone who's more of like a rock star, rebel, outcast, but she is what I call a sexpert. And Avery's definitely heard tales, I guess, of this girl because she goes to her immediately for some advice. So once again, a cool cameo. It's good to see Paris Jackson definitely doing her thing and wanting to become more than just a powerful last name. And probably the biggest thing that really kept me watching this movie, guys, was the clever writing. Once again, I'm a man in his 30s watching 18-year-olds on screen. So the way I kind of combated all that weirdness that I kind of felt along the way with all the sex talk and all the raunchy scenes was put myself in that 18-year-old David mind state. Because yes, I was 18 years old once. And yes, there's a lot of movie references along the way, and I kind of put my movie references along the way. So I had Superbad, I had American Pie, I had those raunchy sex films that I thought sex was gonna be like before I had sex. So even though Gen Z does get crapped on a lot nowadays, it's just a different generation. I'm sure the generations before my generations hated me and hated our way of talking and thinking and filmmaking as well. So once I put all of that to the side, or the back of my brain at least, I had a more enjoyable time with this film. And going back to all of that sex talk, it was pretty accurate. It was really, really accurate to myself remembering being an 18-year-old kid, having those conversations with my friends, as well as talking about things that I had seen, not even experienced yet, thinking I would be good at it, thinking I'd be the man, and all this machismo and testosterone flowing through me once again at age 18. It was very relatable. There's actually a hilarious line that I wrote down that Avery does say in the middle of the movie. Learning sex from watching porn is like learning how to drive from Fast and the Furious. Now that's some good writing. All right, guys, now let's jump to my cons, or pretty much what didn't work for me for this film's sex appeal. Probably the biggest would be the predictability. I can only assume, because I don't watch too many YA young adult titles, that a lot of characters or situations that they do get into are very formulaic. But once again, that's just an assumption. But going off of all of the other films that I've seen along my 30 years of watching movies, I could definitely tell where scenes were going or where characters were going during the progression of this film. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you go into this knowing what you're going to get yourself into, you have no real bar to set. It's just entertainment at that point. Another thing I could have done with was some of the scenes went on a little too long. They felt like extended scenes. And I'm not just saying this for this movie in particular. There's a lot of comedies out there, new or older, that I grew up on that definitely could have been trimmed and left on the cutting room floor. But for whatever reason, they left these scenes more extended than I personally would have wanted. And lastly, the creation of this sex appeal app. Sex appeal. God, it's gonna be hard not saying that. The sex app. I was trying to figure out the mechanics of how this was all working as she was just giving it voice commands, typing in a bunch of things into her computer. It wasn't really explained that well, other than things that she was inputting. But once again, whoo, maybe that just went over my head. I'm not a tech nerd whatsoever. They really made it seem like this character Avery was like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, all wrapped into one. So maybe those are questions just best left unanswered. I just thought it was clunky along the way and just more silly. But all in all, I really had an entertaining time with this film. I didn't take it too seriously. Once again, try to put myself in the 18-year-old David mindset, and from there, surprisingly, I had a good time with this film. As once again, I grew up on raunchy humor, and there's a lot of raunchy humor in this, which I didn't think was gonna happen, but I'm so glad it did. And all that being said, I'm gonna give Sex Appeal a solid 3 out of 5. So that's my review and thoughts, guys, for the Hulu original Sex Appeal. If you guys are going to check it out, let me know down in the comments below. Or if you guys are watching this after you have seen the film, let me know you guys' thoughts once again down in the comments below. And if you guys did appreciate my review, let me know by liking the video. It's the best way to support the channel, and it does spread these videos out to those that aren't subscribed. And if you yourself aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe and bell notification down below to always get alerted about future videos like this. And if you guys want to follow me on social media, I'll put all that information right here on the screen, as well as in the description down below. All right, guys, till next review, I'm gone. Peace.